He is dead. Thor is going to die in Avengers Secret Wars, mark my words, and this trailer confirms it. And I know the exact storyline that they're probably going to use to do it. The Avengers Doomsday second trailer, the Thor trailer, has leaked. Look at me, man. I just talked about the Epstein leaks yesterday and the Thor leaks now today. You can't say that my channel doesn't have range to it, alright? Clearly it does. We're going to break this down now, alright? We all knew what this was. It was leaked a long time ago that Thor was going to be praying to Odin in the middle of the woods to get him back safely to his daughter, right? So we're going to go through the visuals of this, and I'm going to explain to you how this brother's going to die, because he's going to die, right? Marvel's going to kill Thor off again. Thor's in the middle of the forest. He's walking through the forest with his cape and his axe. Then you see shots of him with his daughter. They're in some cabin or some house now. He's taking care of her. He's a father to her now. And he sets his axe down and starts praying to Odin. Now, we're going to... I saw the French leak of this. We're going to get to exactly what he said, translated. But he's praying to Odin to get him safely to his daughter. And then we get to see Thor will return in Avengers Doomsday. This is what he says. All my life I've answered the calls of honor, duty, and combat. Destiny has offered me something I have never hoped for. A child. A life preserved from the storm. Grant me the strength of the fathers of all things, so that I may fight once more. The fathers of all things references something very, very interesting, alright? I believe it references the beings in the shadows in the comic books, alright, that control many of the souls of gods. We're going to get to that. Defeat a new enemy and return to her, not as a warrior, but as a protector. They do not know war, but tranquility, the one I have never known. I beg you, Father, hear my prayer, alright? So his brother's begging. He's begging Odin. Guide me through this shit, so I can live a life with my daughter, right? This guy's cooked. He's fucking cooked. We're going to get into some theories here. He's dying in Avengers Secret Wars, not Doomsday. I believe at the end of Doomsday, this guy will make the ultimate sacrifice and get his most powerful form. We're going to get to exactly what that means. The haircut from Infinity War and Ragnarok is back. If you all don't know, Thor's most powerful form that we've ever seen in cinema was this. Now, I know that the stupid directors of Endgame said that his most powerful form was in Endgame, when he was fat and bloated and could barely put up a fight with Thanos despite having 2 hammers. You're fucking idiots for ever saying that. I know the power scaling better than these dumbass directors do. There's no way in hell that Thor, who shot his axe through the full blast from a fully formed Infinity Gauntlet and stabbed Thanos in Infinity War, is somehow weaker than the fat fuck who could barely do anything to Thanos with both hammers, and Thanos had no Infinity Gauntlet. Logically, that doesn't comport. So maybe we're seeing a glimpse back, before the Love and Thunder days, to the real badass Thor. Maybe that's what they could be hinting at with this new haircut. I love it. I do feel like he's gonna grow out his hair again, because this scene takes place in the beginning of the movie, and he's gonna grow his beard, and we're gonna get a glimpse at a more looking Thor. And I believe he's going to turn into the Rune King. Before I get into that, people have asked, is Doom after the heroes with children? Steve Rogers has a son. Is Doom after the son there? Franklin Richards, is Doom after him? Now Thor's got a daughter. There seems to be a pattern. Doom is targeting people that have kids. What's the deal here? Does this have something to do with the plot? Could he be taking revenge for his kids that died due to an incursion? Is he trying to find future anchor beings, and maybe these kids have overwhelming power and no one knows it? We know Franklin Richards is a reality warping god. Is he killing what he views to be aberrations that will ruin the timelines? Because Steve should never have had a son in that timeline, right? Franklin Richards, I guess you could say, is a cosmic aberration more than a multiversal one, because he's got godlike power. And I don't know about Thor's daughter. I don't know how she's an aberration at all, but maybe because she's the daughter of, maybe she was brought back because of a wish from eternity, and that kind of breaks the rules of the universal code, I guess. Dr. Doom's after all of them. It could make sense. I don't think she's going to play that big a role ultimately. I do think Thor is not more so protecting her, but he's more so just helping the Avengers to fight Doom and stop him from creating a new timeline. I think that's what's going down. A lot of people are theorizing that he's praying to Odin before he goes to sacrifice himself for Loki or die. I don't think that's where this is happening. I think this is happening in the beginning of the film. I think that in the beginning of the film, you're going to see him cuddled up with his daughter, having scenes with her, and then he's going to be called to action by the Avengers. And then he's going to make that prayer before he goes and leaves her there with somebody, I don't know. Korg, maybe, I don't know. I think that's what's going to happen. Then we're going to see a fully hair-grown, full Viking beard Thor later. I think this could be him praying before his first fight with Doom, okay? But now we have to get to what's going down, really. And Thor's going to fight Dr. Doom towards the end of Doomsday and die. He's He's gonna have a really cool fight, but he's gonna die. And he will die permanently at the end of Secret Wars, not Doomsday. I believe he's gonna die, but he's gonna sacrifice himself in a way to... Wait, no, what I just said just didn't make sense. Sorry, he's gonna fight Doctor Doom, but he's gonna sacrifice himself for Loki. Because Loki is the multiversal tree. Similar, whatever the hell it's called, right? He's a multiversal tree. This is a very important plot point for where I'm getting to with this theory. And I've already made a whole video on this, but I'm going to repeat it again. Loki is the throne as the most powerful being, or arguably in the MCU, besides obviously the one above all in Living Tribunal. Doctor Doom wants that, so he can create his own perfect world, his own perfect timeline. He's going to boot Loki out. And I think create his own multiversal tree, or a universal tree. Maybe he's going to create one timeline, right? I believe that Thor will sacrifice himself to save Loki somehow. He's going to bring him back by sacrificing himself. I believe he's going to hang himself on the branches of the universal tree that Doctor Doom has created and become his most powerful form. Rune King Thor, like he did in the comic books. And I believe he's going to destroy that multiversal tree that Doctor Doom has created and set reality back to its course. That's how the Secret Wars is going to end. And Thor's going to die after that. His spirit will leave him after that. Because Rune King Thor is like a one-shot thing. It's like Gandalf the White coming back to help his friends beat Sauron before sailing off to Valinor. It's going to be something like that.
Also, back to what I referenced in Thor's prayer in the trailer, he mentions the fathers above. This could be a direct reference to the ones who sit in the shadows from the comic books, these celestial beings who are basically gods of gods. They gain sustenance from the Norse gods. They were far more powerful than Odin ever was in his prime. So basically when Rune King Thor becomes what he is, he defeats them by severing their power source, the universal tree. I think maybe Doomsday's version of that is him severing Doctor Doom's power source, which is Doctor Doom's new timeline universal tree, essentially. We could see a scene where he actually meets the Norse fathers, the ones above all Asgardians, when he's dead and coming back as Rune King Thor, and maybe they subvert it.
Now, why do I think he's 100% gonna die? Why am I hellbent on this? He makes the most sense. If there's one legacy character you have to kill that's left amongst all these new characters, it's gonna be Thor. I think Marvel's just thinking that way. The Thor corpse is apparently going to be shown in this. I believe that Thor's going to have such a personal journey in this, with all the shit being introduced. I believe it's going to be his movie to lose when he dies. Natalie Portman is confirmed for Secret Wars apparently as Jane Foster returning. Now, she could be playing another variant of her because we're dealing with multiversal shit. I think Thor's going to die and meet her in Valhalla. I think that's where her cameo appearance is going to be, at the very end when Thor finds peace with his love and his daughter is taken care of by someone else. I think his daughter is going to replace him as the new Thor. Oh! I have a feeling that we're going to see a scene. Just tell me y'all if you agree with this, right? Thor's going to be dead and gone, and she's going to be like kind of depressed and crying and whatnot. And then Mjolnir's going to start shaking. It's going to start levitating for her, indicating that she's worthy, and now the torch has been passed on. I don't know how the hell she would be worthy, but like, she is, because Thor died and she's his daughter, I guess. Fucking writers are going to be stupid like that. How much you want to bet they're going to do something like that, y'all? I just have a feeling that's like, this is what Marvel does now. You know? Like, do you guys agree with this? Like, think about it. Remember Tony Stark, right? He made a grandiose sacrifice at the end of Endgame. And when he died, his legacy lived on, and he was replaced by another Iron person, Ironheart. Yes, she wasn't his daughter. Morgan Stark is clearly his daughter, but you know what I mean, right? Like, they sacrifice themselves before their kids, and somebody will continue their legacy, and then maybe we'll see Chris Hemsworth do a cameo in another Avengers movie 5 years from now. Who knows? Similar to Chris Evans and freaking RDJ coming back now, right? But that's how this shit ends, right? I can just see the writing on the wall. I can see it, so I can see MCU's formula with this shit. Now, I do like it does seem like the Russo brothers are trying to just ignore what Taika Waititi did to Thor in Love and Thunder by bringing him back to his old self, but he's gonna die. If you're gonna kill him off in the best way possible, which is Rune King Thor destroying the fucking universal tree. Now, this is 100% happening. He's meeting her in Valhalla. If Thor's having an ending, they're gonna give him the happiest ending possible, which is him sailing off with her in Valhalla. They're gonna be fucking in that heaven. I have one big issue when afterlife realms are introduced and we get to see them. I don't like the idea that we get to see them, because what happens is, when you saw Valhalla, you saw Jane Foster meeting with Idris Elba's character, right? Heimdall. and they're discussing and they're chilling and they're talking, right? It's like it's a whole new world now, yeah? This kind of makes me think of death as less of a consequence. I don't like the idea of being able to witness firsthand, and this is why I hate Thor and Love and Thunder, but Taika Waititi's a nut job. Slap the shit out of him for me, anyone who sees him on the street. No, I'm not calling to violence. I'm joking. Comedy. Taika Waititi's cool, alright? But he should be slapped by me one day. Whenever you show the afterlife realm and you show people interacting with it, it really waters down the meaning of death. Because the whole point of being sad for someone's death is you don't get to be with them anymore and you don't know if you're ever going to see them again. It's sad, right? But if you have shown a realm where spirits go to and can chill in an even better realm, a paradise where they can chill and be cool, if you show that in a story, in a movie, it takes away from the consequences of death. You know which movie did this recently? Avatar 3. Avatar 3 shows the ancestral realm when they connect and they can see the spirits of the ones who've been deceased. They see their own son who's died. They see all the characters who died in this movie and are chilling with them and talking to them like it's nothing. And I'm just like, bro, this movie, a lot of it was based on grief that these characters were feeling after a family member died last movie. But they can just chill with them whenever, connect the fucking hair and go in. Like, it's so annoying. Now here, of course, you have to actually die to go to Valhalla and see it, right? So death has some consequence to that regard. This has nothing. Like, what the fuck is this? You can FaceTime people who are dead. It makes death scenes a lot less sadder when you realize there's not much consequence. I really, really despise it when movies do that. I think it's terrible storytelling when it comes to consequence and stakes in a movie this big. I think that's what's happening. I do think Jane Foster and Thor are going to meet again in Valhalla. I know it. And his daughter's going to be the next Thor. She probably won't be in a lot of shit, but she's going to be... If they ever need a Thor again, it's going to be her. Oh, man. It just sucks when you can see the strings. I'm sure many of you do too. You agree with me. This is what they do. But I will say, if you're going to make him go out, making him go out as Rune King Thor... It's probably the best way you can do it. That's my thoughts on that. Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are on a mission to take over Hollywood. But the army must keep growing. If you want to suggest video topics to me, or talk about your favorite movies or favorite film theories in a community with like-minded individuals, join the Zafy Discord now. Link is in the description and the comment section as well. Join us. This movement is just beginning. We're taking over Hollywood, one coke line at a time.